venue for racing drivers. The city of Trois-Rivières, Quebec, hosting the annual Labatt's Grand Prix for Can-Am and Trans Am championships. The cars on the grid, watched by a near-capacity crowd of race fans.
Démarrez vos moteurs. Gentlemen, start your engines.
The 5-liter and 2-liter cars compete in the CRC Chemicals Can-Am Series, won last year by Quebec's Jacques Villeneuve. Leading the '84 championship struggle, Mike Rowe. The Irishman has been supreme, losing races only following mishaps or mechanical failures, but just a few points behind this man, Jim Crawford, last year's runner-up. Third on the grid, the fastest 2-liter, that of Swiss driver Marzio Romano. And Horst Kroll, the ever-present Canadian, is fourth on the grid and lies third in the championship standings. At the end of the warm-up lap, the cars are bunched as they come out of the Villeneuve corner. Suspended over the track, the starter watches. The green flag is dropped and the race is on. At the stadium corner, Rowe leads Crawford with Kim Campbell's 2-liter edging in front of Kroll to take third spot. The rest stream up to the clubhouse corner, a favorite passing place for many. Into the S's now. Watch Rowe's car twitch as he powers his way into the short lead. 500 horsepower in such small cars make them real handfuls around Trois-Rivières' twists and turns, but the little 2-liter cars with much less power will gain in this part of the road course. Rowe with Crawford close behind comes into view now. Start of the Boulevard des Fours straight. Here is where the 5-liter cars of Rowe, Crawford, and Kroll will regain the ground lost in the twistier parts of the circuit. On Boulevard de Carmel, the fastest part of the course, heading towards the Dupaillet turn, Rowe stretches his lead. Then, powering out of the corner, he leads down the Rue de Colon straight ahead of Crawford, then Campbell, and Romano, who has moved ahead of Horst Kroll. Rowe slides into view at the Dupaillet turn, right on the limit, down Papineau and into the Ryan corner, while behind Crawford, Campbell, Romano, and Kroll are still locked in combat. Trois-Rivières is a racetrack which is really hard on cars. Rowe driving flat out, his lead 2.5 seconds at the end of lap 1, but behind Crawford is unperturbed, relaxed, easier on his car.
This is very hard on brakes, yeah. It's for a street circuit, it's quite wide. You throw the car around, it's quite fast. I like it. It's one of the better street circuits that we go to.
Off the track at corner 9, John Macaluso. Also stationary, Ron Canizares, who climbs out of his car as Rowe and Crawford come into view. Canizares' race is over, but Macaluso will get it going again ahead of the struggle for third place, where the 2-liter cars have pulled out to short lead over Horst Kroll. Behind Rowe, Crawford continues playing a waiting game. His 1984 car has not performed as well as last year's version, in which he nearly grabbed the Can-Am title away from Jacques Villeneuve. Rowe's car, however, is virtually the same as the one he drove in 1983. He and his crew, they know it well. It's been refined and made more reliable without the need for development that Crawford's team has been forced to undertake. As the race progresses, Rowe's lead extends. By lap 30, the halfway point, it's over 4 seconds, and it's clear that victory for Crawford can only happen if the leader has a problem. The struggle for third spot rages. Kroll still frustrated by the 2-liter cars and by the fact that the Can-Am rules force him to refuel, while the smaller engine cars will continue to the end without stopping. They're so close, in fact, that even the leaders will be challenged, for the gassing up process will cost the 5-liter cars close to 30 seconds. On lap 42, Rowe will pit, and this is his strategy.
This is a 125 or 126 mile race, so it's a 1 pit stop race. Obviously, you stay out there as long as you can, maybe waiting for a yellow flag. Obviously, if it's a yellow flag, you'd pop in and take fuel on then, but if not, we just have to come in and make a fuel stop. It takes about 9 seconds to pour 11 gallons of fuel into it, but you usually lose about 20-25 seconds by the time you come into the pit and out of the pit.
And Rowe's crew don't let him down. Although Crawford has passed into the lead, the car was stationary for only 8 seconds, a time that Crawford's crew can hardly beat. So Crawford leads, but knowing he too will soon have to stop to refuel, his cushion isn't great enough to enable him to keep the lead over the hotly pursuing Mike Rowe. And 2 laps later, it's Crawford's turn to enter the pit. The fuel gushes in as in the background, Rowe goes back into the lead. Rowe's superb pit stop is equaled now by Crawford's crew. Rowe, Crawford, and both their teams are world-class professionals. Crawford rejoins the race in 2nd place. Even after their pit stops, he and Rowe have maintained a comfortable lead over the rest of the field. And that's the way the race continued, Rowe increasing his lead over the ever-watchful Crawford, who is just seconds behind. But then, with only 7 of 60 laps remaining, suddenly Rowe is coasting. Clearly the fastest on the Trois-Rivières track. He is forced to watch Crawford now take his lead. He continues to coast. Broken drive shaft. The same problem which put him out of this very race last year, as Crawford passes him one more time to put Rowe a lap down. Then in the race's dying seconds, Crawford held up by Horst Kroll, trying to get by in the cars. They come together. But luckily, Crawford's damage merely slows him down, and he coasts for the remaining 2 laps, happy that he has enough of a cushion which the pursuing Romano, Campbell, and Kroll cannot overcome. Jim Crawford wins the CRC Chemicals Can-Am. Today's win dramatically closes the gap between him and Rowe in the championship standings. Romano drives a fine race to finish 2nd, ahead of Campbell and Kroll. Mike Rowe was 5th.
This uncertain and bewildering world of personal computers, the Tandy 2000 stands apart. In power, speed, and graphics, the Tandy 2000 is clearly superior. For service, support, and software, Tandy is clearly superior. Available exclusively at Radio Shack computer centers. Compare. You too will immediately recognize Tandy technology, service, and support are clearly superior.
Excuse me. Look, we've got to do something about these oil bills.
I'm sleeping. What is it?
These oil bills.
You get oil bills, so?
We've insulated, we keep the thermostat down, we wear sweaters, and still these bills go up.
So?
We were wondering if you could use just a little less oil.
Less oil?
Had enough? Get some straight talk about home heat. Call your Hydro.
And still to come today, boxing from the Montreal Forum featuring Matthew Hilton, who has a perfect 13-0 record, and later Canadian and WBC Continental Champion Alex Hilton in the long-awaited rematch against Dino Clavette.